Three, go ahead.
Hey, Joshua Suzanne, back here at Rags-A-GoGo with another very interesting person that just walked into my store. First of all, where are you from, sweetheart?
I'm from Edinburgh in Scotland.
Edinburgh,
Yeah.
Scotland. Right on, right on. What brings you to the United States? What brings you to New York? What have you been up to?
I've been doing anti-death penalty work.
You're doing anti-death penalty work. Are you
Yeah.
doing that in New York? Where are you doing that at?
In Georgia.
In Georgia.
Yeah.
What part of Georgia were you?
In Atlanta, but the cases were all around.
Oh, the cases were all around the
Georgia.
states? Oh, all around Georgia.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many cases did you have?
We had 7 altogether.
7 altogether. And how many did you work on?
I worked on 4.
On 4 of them. And you were, explain to me a little bit about what you're doing here for the
Yeah.
audience. So you were in Atlanta, you're working on anti-death penalty cases, meaning trying to get people off of death row.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you find? Did you find that people were guilty, not guilty? What were you looking at here?
You found that the system was so unjust that you had to do something. Like, as soon as I got there, I was like bowled over by the amount of errors and the amount of doubt in every single one of the cases.
For example?
Just mistaken identification, or like judges hearing a case that had been to the funeral of the victim and the jurors knew the victim. The jurors were all racist against the defendant explicitly and openly. Like, just so many things that you would think were just too crazy to be true, and they were true.
And so you feel deep down inside after looking at these cases that at least the 4 people you were looking at were not guilty of the
Yeah.
crime that they've been sitting on death row for.
Yeah.
How long have some of these people been on death row?
Some of them up to 20 years.
Up to 20 years. And how close are they from being executed?
It all varies because the appeal process is like, it goes over a number of years. But we went to one execution that was scheduled that got cancelled like an hour before. But that wasn't one of our cases, but that can be how sort of hit or miss it can be.
Have you ever been to an execution?
No.
Okay, all right. So how do you feel about these cases now? Have any of them been resolved? Are they still in the works of being resolved?
There's still, it's a long process. Like,
Okay.
people devote like a life career as a lawyer on one particular case. And it
Now,
will
what
never get
about the
resolved.
families of the victims? Do they get pissed off at you? Do you get like letters or anything like that? Like, I'm thinking, like, is
Yeah.
someone going like, "What the hell are you trying to get this guy off from, like, slaughtering my family for?"
Yeah, there's a lot of times like you'll go to the hearings and the victim's family will all sit on one side of the courtroom and then the defendant's family on the other, and it is like a really strange dynamic.
Huh.
But you kind of have to think of it as like the people are like people in society, so like the victim's family shouldn't have more of a say than the rest of the people in society, and it shouldn't be focused on them. Like, it's a democracy, so at the end of the day, like, something's upset them personally, but they're not the only person to have a say in how like the society should deal with the problem.
Right.
Is
Now,
what
now I'm sure there's audience members out there thinking to themselves, "What the hell is she up to?" I mean, these people have been found guilty, and like they're going to go, get what they deserve, because they killed somebody. Now they're going to get killed. How do you feel about that when you are looking at someone's case and you're going, "You know what? From what I see here, they probably didn't do the murder." How does that make you feel? How do you resolve that, knowing that perhaps the murderer is still out there?
Yeah, it's a really horrible feeling, and I think you can never have the death penalty as long as you know that you can't have equality, and that's like a standard truth. Like, it's not equal in this legal system, so I don't see how anyone could support the death penalty until it is.
Until it's sound and
Yeah.
okay, right on, right on. Listen, I'm fascinated with what you do. I never would have known, looking at you, that this is what you're doing with your life. And that's the best part about being at Rags-A-GoGo, you guys, is I meet people from all over the world. I never know what they're up to. They start talking to me, before you know it, we're doing an interview.
Yeah.
Listen, best of luck, sweetheart.
Thank you.
I think it's great that you're over here
Yeah.
doing the thing that you feel like you want to do with your life.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about, you guys. Get out there and do what you want to do with your life, because that's what you do with it. All right, guys, we'll see you back here at Rags. Ciao.